Hello, my name is Nordin Haikal bin Hisham from DLH3A, student of Landscape and Horticulture. Today I will be presenting a video for the project Sunflower, which is a site analysis video. So without further ado, let's get on to the first point of site analysis. So the first point of site analysis is the list of plants on the site. So there is a lot of plant on the site, so I'm gonna list what's on top of my head. So first of all, there's sunflower, obviously. The sunflower flowers that semester 3 students have to grow for their project, this project actually. So there are also corns, which are the plant that first semester need to grow for their project in plant production. There's mulberry trees, which are the student favorites because of the mulberry fruits. There's kaffir lime, if I'm not mistaken, that's what it's called. Basically lime or limau purut. There's lemongrass. There's pineapple. There's Brazilian spinach, which is the madam's favorite, and other ornamental plants. And I think that's what I can get from on top of my head. So moving on to the next point. So next are the sunflower requirements. So sunflower, they require a certain things to grow healthy and to grow well. So the requirements for flower to grow, the sunflower to grow healthily are water, fertilizer, sunlight, and soil. So what I mean by that is water. Sunflower require daily watering, and during our time at the agro farm, it was especially hot. The weather were very hot, so we were needed to water the plant more than usual. So we always water the plants at least 3 times a day, or the plant will get dry. So next, moving on to the fertilizer. So the fertilizer, we indeed use fertilizer for the plant. We use NPK green during the earlier stage of the plant to help it grow healthily, to provide it the nutrient that it needs to grow. We also use NPK blue as well, so that the plant have the nutrient to grow bigger and successfully grow. Another things are the climate. So the climate were very, very, very hot. So this hot climate were good for fully grown sunflower, but for earlier seedlings, when it was in the earlier stage of growth, it wasn't really helpful. It was actually very challenging to grow it because of the hot climate, the hot temperature. So like I said just now, we counteract this by giving it extra water. We give it more water to help sustain the plant. And another factor of the sunflower growth is the soil. So if the soil is dry, it will be difficult for the sunflower to grow. So we have to water the plant. Also, we have to also water the soil regularly to make sure it is moist and not dry. And it is actually very difficult because of the hot climate. So we try our best to water the plant and the soil every day to keep it damp. So I think that is the requirement for a sunflower to grow very healthily, and that is what we did. But there were some challenges along the way, such as the extremely hot climate, but we tried to manage. So proceeding, there are some key problems that are affecting the growth of the sunflower on the site. The main problem that I have seen, there are a total of 4, which are the soil, the water, the climate, and the pests. So moving on with the soil is extremely dry, as I stated previously. So with this dry soil, it is affecting the plant, and obviously when the soil is dry, which means that there's no water, and when there's no water, the plant will obviously die, or the growth will be affected. So the dry soil is really affecting it. Watering is also a problem because of the climate. It was very very hot, and the soil is also very dry, so we need excessive amount of water to keep it very healthy, to keep it moist. So we actually have to it took a lot of our time to actually water the plant and the soil. So another key problems is the climate. Like I've stated a lot of time already, the climate will be very extremely hot, and when the hot climate, it will affect the watering rate and the soil, and also the sunflower. So to counteract that, we just use a lot of water. And another problem that were on the site were the pest problems. So during the earlier weeks, we noticed that our plant are actually getting eaten by pests. So to counteract this, we grew out the what do you call? Yes, okay. We grew out the weeds so that it can confuse the pest. Sorry, so it can confuse the pest. So by growing out the weed, the pest won't know which one to attack or which one to eat. So it will get confused and hopefully leave our sunflower untouched. So yeah, that is all for the key problems and on the site. Okay, so moving on to the final point, which is studying the ecosystem. I would say that the ecosystem on the site is actually very complete. If you are talking about the water source, there are a water source which is the huge water tank, and through the piping system we are able to get water fairly easily, so water is not a problem at all. About the drainage, the drainage is also not a problem because there's also already storm drain there to drain all the excess water. The climate, however, is a huge problem because it is actually very very hot, and we actually have difficulties to grow our sunflower due to the hot climate or the hot temperature. So like I've previously stated, to counteract that, we actually have to use excessive amount of water, which means we have to use more energy. But other than that, I think the ecosystem is perfect and there's no problem at all other than the climate. So yeah, that is the end of the video for the site analysis. I hope that I am able to explain all of them, at least so that you are able to understand fairly easily. And yeah, thank you very much.